Let's do this thing. I'm joined here today with Khadijah from Nigeria. You're someone who found the existing medical system to be broken, too much of a focus on like pills, on band-aid solutions, on managing symptoms, rather than rather than dealing with the root causes of issues, of deeply understanding human health and how it connects to our environment. And so I'm curious to kick this off. What inspired you to finally say that enough is enough and to start your own journey into healing, to becoming a holistic healer? What is it that got you started on this journey?
Okay. So why I started on this path as an holistic health healer is losing my father. My father got diagnosed with chronic kidney disease 2020 during the COVID, and because of the COVID, he was unable to get like medical attention because of the hospitals and everything. And in Nigeria here, cases that were not chronic, that were not COVID-19, we are not really attended to. They only focusing on COVID, and so it was very hard to get him tested about his symptoms. He was finally tested around March, June or July of 2020. He was diagnosed with chronic kidney disease. I finally became there, and I was his patient. I was the one talking to the doctors. So I was patient advocate. I was the one talking to the doctors, changing his medication and all. So it was a long journey. Every single thing they did for the whole 3 years, it didn't change. It didn't get better. It was just deteriorating. I was losing my father, even though he was still with us physically. He was not himself mentally. He was losing his. He was having dementia. He was just losing his head. He was losing his body. He was losing a sense of every single thing, and it was just a shadow of himself. So he was losing himself, and everything was just so sad. And as a patient advocate, asking the doctor, what solution? They said he should keep doing dialysis. Dialysis is a machine that helps him, flush out the blood and return it back to the kidney because it's failed, of course, kidney failure, end stage kidney failure. So we continued for 3 years, nothing changed. And I kept asking, I had zero knowledge of holistic then. I was just a random daughter wanting to save her father. And after everything, he died early. He died late 2022. After he died, I was so broken. So I felt used. The system failed him. The system failed him because not just him. I saw a lot of people at his dialysis center coming there every single day, diagnosed of chronic kidney disease, the immune malaria. Even a little boy, I fight him doing dialysis. 13 years old guy. It has no limit to age. Everybody was just having big disease. I started to ask deeper. Even after losing him, I knew I could not just shut my mouth and continue with my life because this happened for a reason, and I knew I had to answer this call. I started posting on my social media, posting about health awareness, early diagnosis, early intervention, how you can change life. My dad earlier, maybe it would not be diagnosed at any stage. I kept posting about that. Even I was doing the perfect and right thing, which is so good. I was recommending going to the hospital, seeing your vaccine, getting this. I was not just talking about kidney disease. I was talking about different diseases, different illnesses. I was advocating for medicine, for the medical line. I was just about to get into
advocating for health.
Yeah, I was just about to get into medicine, into college to study medicine. So I was like really into the spirit. I was posting every single day. I was so pained, and I felt like doing that was my way of telling my dad, I'm not just going to let your dad go, just go scot-free like that. So I felt so happy, and life were changing because people were getting this early detection of a thing, and even cervical cancer. Go get your vaccine. Even mothers, I'll say, go get your vaccine for your kids. Make sure their doses are complete. And life hits me around early 2023, where I got diagnosed with PCOS myself, polycystic ovarian syndrome, where my ovaries are inflamed, and PCOS is the leading cause of infertility. So as somebody in my young 20s, I was so scared. What happened? What did I do wrong? I won't say I was living a healthy life then. I never worked out. But I just didn't expect it. I was not doing anything healthy. I wouldn't lie. But honestly, being diagnosed with PCOS it really changed everything for me. I'm like, what am I supposed to do? I just lost my dad last year. What's PCOS finding? What I'm looking for? And the fact that it's the leading cause of infertility. Maybe I will never be a mother. All these questions were running in my
Mm.
mind. And then boom. Summoned the courage, went to the doctor. The person that gave me the results said I should come back to the hospital to see the specialist on my case. So I went there with all my courage because I was already at that point, I already had phobia for the hospital. I was there with my dad for like 3 years, to and fro. So I had phobia for it. Going
Right.
to the ward,
You've only been to the hospital in the most challenging, traumatic of experiences, right? And
yeah.
so, of course, going back there, you're like, I don't want to spend any time there. There's just bad memories, bad thoughts. Okay. Yeah.
So going there and seeing, I'm like, yeah, I have PCOS. I showed her the results. She didn't even let me explain my symptoms. But the only symptoms I had was I was not in my period. So she didn't even
Okay.
allow me explain anything so much. She said, okay, I'm going to prescribe you pick a pen and pepper, and just wrote birth control. You're going to get this and this. Get to the pharmacy down there. I'm like, I felt lost. I just being and breathe out. I left the office with a paper in my hands. I'm like, birth control. I was not so learned then about anything holistic, like I said, but I knew birth control. I knew the advocate around birth control. Even though I used to be an advocate for it, I would say family planning and all that. But I already started getting a bit of knowledge, and I knew it was not something I wanted to use. I was worried. I was scared. I went back home. Everybody recommended me getting it because I was even gaining a lot of weight then. I was gaining tremendous amount of weight, and which was the symptoms of PCOS. So I
Okay.
was so worried. I didn't know what to do. And I spent weeks, I spent almost 3 weeks searching around the internet, the cure, everything came back to birth control. It could not just be birth control. I was not about to put that into my system. And then the doctor told, when I asked her, how long am I supposed to use the birth control? I remember her saying, you are going to use it as long as it takes, or even you might not even use it now. You might keep managing PCOS and just living with it. But when you are ready to get pregnant, you are going to come back and you are going to get birth control to get pregnant. I should come back when I want to get pregnant, when not waking up every single day, knowing something is happening in my body, feeling fatigue, chronic fatigue, my period is nowhere to be found. All those things does not matter. The only thing you are saying is come back when you want to get pregnant. So I knew I was alone. I knew nobody was coming to save me. I
Just
think I stopped.
on that quickly. So, okay, so the doctor diagnoses you with PCOS. Is there a like, does the doctor say there's a cure? Does the doctor say, okay, this is something we're just gonna have to manage for the rest of your life? Like, what does the doctor prescribe to you as the solution?
PCOS has no cure. That's what everybody knows. And that's what I believe
Okay.
too. They told us
Okay.
PCOS has no cure. Yeah.
There's just medication. As far as the doctor's concerned, there's only medication to like manage symptoms, so it's just not as terrible to live with. Is that what they offered you?
Yes, absolutely. That's what they offered me. They said, keep using the medication, you are going to live with it. PCOS has no cure. And it's the leading cause of infertility. Something that could cause infertility has no cure. So I was baffled. I stumbled upon Ayurveda, which is like Indian medicine and all that. And
Right.
then during my search, I found out about the healing of
You started exercising. Just quickly on that,
yeah.
for people like for people that have never exercised before and then to start exercising, it can feel daunting, where to begin. Do you go from like zero exercise to like 3 hours a day in the gym? What was that transition like for you, and what would you recommend for people who are just getting started to like little baby steps on their exercise journey?
Walking was all I did. When I say I'm
Walking.
walking,
Walk.
I was walking. I could not go to the gym. The whole lifting gave me anxiety. I think I did it for once. I did it once. I downloaded a video on YouTube and I stopped at 2 minutes. I'm like, how am I supposed to ever move on from here? Then I went into the power healing of walking and then I started walking 10 minutes a day. I switched to 15 minutes and 20 minutes and then 30 minutes. I started working out. Took me like 3 months before I got to 30 minutes of walk every
Mm.
single day. Every
Yep.
single day. Baby steps. Yeah. So walking it
Yep.
is. But now I do
And
full workout, right? But then
and
walking.
and I love that you said walking. Now, for a lot of people listening, they're probably going to think, well, that was a boring answer. I love it, and I'll tell you exactly why I love it. It's because it's simple. Anybody can do it. Okay, fine. in extreme examples, I understand. Okay, maybe you're in a wheelchair. Okay, we'll put that aside. But vast majority of people, like you can put shoes on, you can go outside. Like you don't need expensive equipment. You don't need an expensive gym membership. You don't need all this complicated stuff. Like there's really nothing stopping you from just putting on your shoes and going for a walk. And like you said, that could be a 5 minute walk. And then maybe after some time you do a 10 minute and then a 20 minute walk. But it's something easy. Anybody can do it. Doesn't require any expensive equipment. So there's no, where I'm going with this, there's no excuses, right? Because that's the core thing. People love excuses about, why they can't do it or it's too much. There's no excuses. No
Yeah,
excuses.
yeah. There's no excuse at all. So I started working out, practicing, or changed my diet. Yes, I used to have Coke. I used to have soft drinks, and
Like pop, like sugary soft drinks.
I used to have it all. No one told me it was affecting me. So I started researching about everything, the whole sugar overload and everything, the inflammation it did to my body, and how it worsened my symptoms of PCOS. So I knew I had to start from that. And that was the second hardest because I was a chronic soda drinker. I would have it every single other day. Yeah, it was. I feel it wasn't easy at all.
Yep.
So
Yep.
to stop it for my own sake, and then my diet, my lifestyle, little changes, baby steps, nothing overwhelming, and just like that. After about 6 to 7 months, I healed my PCOS. I was fine. I was
Yes.
fine. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, does that mean like it was gone? You went back to the doctor and the doctor's like, where is it?
Yes, I went back to test and then my period came back. The flow was better than ever. Like it felt like I was renewed, like rebirth. Everything was fine. I lost tremendous amounts of weight because I was holding on to a lot of excess skin there. And then I was fine. I started to feel so good. My skin, I had the skincare routine and all that, the girly, all that. But starting that healing journey for myself, I started to reduce the chemicals. I started studying about the chemicals in our skincare products,
Mm-hmm.
how toxic
Yep.
to our body. So I started to do it one by one, stopping, reducing. I didn't overwhelm myself because I could not change my old routine that I've been doing for the past 2 decades. So I started from, reducing chemical by chemical. Okay, instead of having a 10 skincare step, reduce it and then baby steps. And it made sense. The change was tremendous. And just
Yeah.
like that, I was
So
healed.
so one day you're at the doctor says you have PCOS. They said there is no cure for this. This is for life. Okay, I'll give you some medications that help to manage the symptoms. So like it's not, so your life is a little bit better, but this is never going to go away. And you say, "Thank you, but I don't believe you." You took some simple actions in your life. You started going for walks,
Mhm.
getting some physical exercise. You cleaned up your diet. Sounds like you removed a lot of sugar from your diet. And that's one of those things for me personally, like if there's one kind of like lesson, I like want to share with people because I've had a similar journey myself with sugar as well. Is like if there's one thing to like remove from your diet, it's excess sugar, right? Like, okay,
Yeah.
fruit sugar, okay, that's fine, right? But it's like you
Yeah.
said, it's drinking soda. It's like the sugary drinks, right? It's just sugar, 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 and our body
Yeah.
can't handle that. And so again, you did simple things. You started walking, you started moving your body, you removed sugar from your diet. I'm sure you did some other things to like generally eat cleaner. You started being
I
aware
didn't
of
think about
skincare,
yes.
skincare products, and then
I
within you
started
said
removing.
7 months. Within 7 months,
Yeah,
you would
7 months. Yeah, and that's even long because that was my first time. I failed a lot of times. Let's put that failure in it. I stopped working out. I stopped. I stopped. I start again. I stopped. It was a long journey. That was why it took that long because It was hard. I wouldn't lie. It was hard, but my why kept me going. I needed to heal the thing. I needed to save my fertility, so it kept me going. So that was why it took a lot. Yeah. So and then after that happened, I knew I could couldn't go back. And I think a friend of mine had irregular cycle. She was not getting her period. And then I recommended her to start taking this, start taking ginger tea, start going on walks. And I started recommending for people. And the people started seeing changes. And I said, studying more, started teaching more, started gathering info. And over the years, people started telling me. And then I decided, okay, let's make this a food. Let's make this, let's start impacting. And then I changed from advocacy, from medicine, I changed all to your body can heal itself. Your body can heal itself. You just have to support it with the right environment. And that was the change. And that was how I just knew this was the path for me. I could not keep supporting something that didn't work. The system that failed my dad, the system that failed me, and the system that kept failing lots of people. I knew I had to stand up for every single person around me. And I did just that. Yeah.
And this seems to be a theme in the conversations that I'm having right now, but it's the theme of turning pain into passion or turning pain into purpose, right? And it's like what you've been through, both your personal story, but also the experience with your dad. Those are obviously very, very challenging, painful experiences that you went through that then, spoke to your soul, your core, your heart, and you're like, this isn't right. I need to do something about this. I need to make a change. I feel like maybe I'm being lied to or misled or there's misinformation here. So I'm going to do my own research. I'm going to learn the lessons. I'm going to figure out how this works because I know that we can do this better. Because I think that's something where there's a lot of people in life, right? And hey, I fall into this bucket as well that feel lost in terms of, people say, follow your passion, follow your purpose, but for a lot of people it's like, well, I don't know what my purpose is. And so I think there's something about having gone through really difficult experiences which then become the seed of that purpose, of that passion, something that fuels you, that fire inside of yourself.
Yeah.
And so go ahead.
No, I want to hear what you have to say. I'm listening.
I was gonna say, so what was then the next step on this journey? Like, did you go back to like school and get like a formal education in holistic health? Was this something where you're very self-taught and you're like, I'm going to go on the internet, I'm going to use YouTube, I'm going to use ChatGPT? Like, take us through that journey of how you started learning these things.
Okay, I quit the idea of studying medicine because I knew I wanted to help people, I wanted to heal people, but I didn't want to go through the route of being a doctor because for some reason I feel they are being taught how to treat symptoms, not the root cause of what is wrong with me and why it's happening. So I removed the idea of being a medical doctor and I went into studying public health, which was the fact that there was no access to studying holistic health in Nigeria, a physical education. So now I'm studying public health science and then I'm researching, I'm studying, I have mentors, I know all over the world, I'm getting, self-taught. Yeah, I am a self-taught holistic health healer.
Self-taught. Okay. And what resources have you been using? And part of the reason I'm asking the question, again, for other people out there who are interested in learning these things themselves, right? Even, okay, maybe they don't want to be a healer per se, but they want to be able to heal themselves. What resources did you use to start learning this?
Okay. First I started to, learn more about my own biology, which was using all the research tools around me. I used ChatGPT, I used X, Twitter, I used Instagram. I gathered info all around, everywhere possible, except Chrome and Google and all those. Every one of them now. I believe when I search for something and I want to get information on it, they like swipe me back to medicine, swipe me back to the doctor. Like they don't want me to wake up. They don't want me to know about what healing can be when I go to all those like social Chrome and go. So I knew I had to twerk a bit to find information on the internet. It's not easy because it feels like everybody wants you to be blinded. They don't want the information to get out. They don't want you to know the body can heal itself. They don't want you to know you just have to support your body. They don't want you to know healing is possible. Do you understand? So it was very, very hard and challenging to go on. You cannot just go on the internet and go on Chrome and say, how can I heal myself? You're going to go to your medical doctor, go there, go to the hospital, to go to your gynecologist. Nobody's going to tell you, okay, you have to. You just have to understand that you can heal yourself. And the minute you start trusting that, everything start aligning, and then removing all the toxic around you. The food system is out to kill you. The food system, the sugar, the addictive, the preservative, the whole nonsense. You're going to go on the pack of ingredients, check the ingredients label at the back, and then you are seeing all sorts of nonsense at the back of peanut butter.
All those words that you can't pronounce, and you're like, what is this
So
string of letters and words? What is this?
it's overwhelming. But when I started my healing, I wanted to start consuming. I wanted to start consuming peanut butter, and then I went to the store to get peanut butter, and then I took at the bar, and then I'm seeing peanut butter and addictive and hydrogenated seed oils. What am I? That's inflammation there. What am I looking for? What are you doing?
Hydrogenated seed oils. There's probably like sugar in there as well, right? To sweeten it. You're like, I wanted peanut butter. Where are the peanuts? And they're like seventh on the ingredient list.
I went back home, started making my own peanut butter. They allowed me to connect with myself, connect with doing things on my own. I would tell myself, if it can be stuff and not expiring and not spoiling. Spoil is a sign of life. If something can be on the shelf and it's not spoiling, then something is happening. Something is stopping it. Food spoil, real food spoil. So why is cereal in the supermarket and for months and it's having best before an expiring date? What is preserving it? What?
Yes.
What is? Oh my God. Yeah.
What is going on here? And I like that. I like that too as a simple like test, right? Because a question then becomes, okay, well, how do I know if food is good or bad, right? And you're saying like a simple test is like, well, if you let it sit there for a few days, will it go bad? Will it start to mold? Will it spoil, right? There was a while ago I saw there was like a video about it was about McDonald's, right? And what they did is they took like McDonald's burgers and they put them whatever, they put them into some container and they're like, we're just gonna let this sit here for however many months or years or whatever. And I think they did a comparison like it's been a while since I saw this video, but I think they went to like a few different burger places, right? And they're like, okay, let's get a burger, let's get fries, and then they're comparing against McDonald's, and then they let it sit there for a little bit, and they're like, so you can tell this is real food because the whatever no name burger place, there was mold on the burger, like it was starting to grow, it was clearly going bad. The like Big Mac or whatever they got from McDonald's, like weeks later, months later, was still like in pristine condition. And you're like, that's not normal. Why am I putting that in my body?
Yeah. Yeah. So even bread, like you buy bread, you put them for weeks, for 5 days or 6 days. Bread is flour, butter, is sugar. Those things coming together, they're supposed to be easier to spoil. They should have gone bad in 2 to 3 days. 2 days max. They should start that stage. But they are there at the supermarket, they're weak, they're still fresh. What is happening? Switch to the back. Ingredients is
fresh.
there. And then the ingredients is there, and then you are seeing addictive and bromide and all those addictive and preservatives and chemicals there to preserve it, to increase the shelf life. Like you are selling it, like it's a marketing strategy of the thing, not for your own health. So I started making my own brother. So they chased me into doing every single thing because I could not see option out there. Like all the option was attacking me. And this same human putting chemicals in our food.
Sorry, the connection broke up a little bit there, but I could tell from your energy you were very enthusiastic, but you were cut off. It was saying something about the like paying attention to your food, the ingredients in it.
So, and when I started as an holistic health healer as a job, when I started to take up clients, people that had chronic pain, people that had PCOS, people that had infertility and all that, when I started to work with them, the first thing is to, clean up your diet, clean up the toxic around you, the perfume, the chemical in almost every single thing. And if you're not ready to go on that journey, you are going to stop. You won't be able to, you will stop midway. So clean up your bleach, your chemicals in them that is affecting your nervous system. Mitochondria, the system in your body is failing, it's giving you inflammation and loads of chemicals. So ready to fix that. You're not ready to listen to him. So that's what's
Yeah.
hindering them. Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
it's funny on a personal note there, because I about a year ago I decided to go through this effort myself to really clean up both my diet, what I'm eating, but also my exercise, but then also, like you said, the chemicals that I have in my environment. Right. And so I really put some effort into, for example, like the hand soap that I use, or the dish soap, that I was just saying. So on a personal note, about a year ago, I also made a decision to really clean up my life, cleaning up my diet, getting better with exercise, but then also cleaning up the different like chemicals that I have in my life. So going through like the hand soap that I use in the bathroom, the dish soap that I use in the kitchen, the type of, shampoo that I use, the type of soap that I use to wash myself, what I use in terms of like skincare, right? Like I just use coconut oil, for example, as a moisturizer on my face. Again, very, very simple. And so I did a lot of that cleanup, but my one guilty pleasure that I have not been able to cut yet, as you can see from my shelf, I am very into like fragrance and perfume. It is the one thing that I've struggled to like let go, and there's a part of me that's like, I know this is bad. I know it's bad, but I just can't let it go. And I guess, and I'm curious to get your thoughts on this, but my perspective is that, okay, the goal here is not necessarily to be perfect. Now, okay, if you're in extreme, in a more extreme situation, like you've been diagnosed with PCOS, and it's very much a like existential crisis of like, I have to solve this or else I'm going to have this major issue in my life. Then maybe you do go to that extreme where you're like, everything has to be absolutely perfect. There's no room for mistakes. My philosophy is to do better, right? It's not about being perfect, but it's like, what are the steps that you can do to like do better, to live cleaner? And if there's certain things that are just, maybe they're, just really important to you, then to make the decision. But then at least it becomes a conscious decision to say, okay, there's this one thing in my life, it's my guilty pleasure. I know it's bad for me, but I'm going to make the choice that I'm going to keep this. But all these other things, I'm going to let them go. Do you have any thoughts on that? Because again, I feel like for a lot of people making this transition in their life and clean up their life, it can be overwhelming. They're like, what, I have to get rid of like all the foods that I love, and how I live my life, and my lifestyle, and the people that I hang out with, and I like to have a glass of wine, and I like how this thing smells. Any thoughts or advice for people that are like, okay, they recognize, okay, I need to live a cleaner life, I need to live a better life, but I also feel overwhelmed. How do people get started?
Okay, so food, you have food to do with, you have chemicals. I feel like you can, if you're talking about the perfume, I don't use perfume. I've never used them. I've never been a fan. Yeah. The reason I didn't use them before I became an healer is because of it was expensive. It was not something I liked. I just didn't like it. Not because it was bad. Do you understand me? I just didn't like it. But when I became a
Sure.
healer, when I knew myself, and then now that I've cleaned up my diet, I've cleaned up everything. When I'm around anybody using perfume, I start feeling nauseous. I start having
Okay. So you become like very, very sensitive to it, because like your system is so clean now that like you pick up a little bit and your body's just like, what is that?
my body tells me immediately, even before I sense it around. Like my body start, and then same with bleach. They used to wash the toilets, and then those chemicals. Anytime I'm around them, I just feel very, very bad, and I have to just leave the
Mm,
environment. Yes. So when the advice I have for anybody willing to like start on a healthy living and on a healthy, lifestyle change is that first, let's talk about food. If you are trying to quit the whole unhealthy food, I'm say try to replace with healthy ones, because your body, nervous system, your dopamine, every single thing, your body is used to that food, that unhealthy lifestyle. So you taking it away from it, you're just going to be battling binge eating or chronic cravings. Do you understand? So start with, you know, McDonald's now. You say, okay, you don't want to have that, you don't want to have the burger, then you start maybe once in a while, make yours at home with cleaner ingredients. The goal is not to stop. The goal is to replace with healthier options. Do you get? You
mhm.
cannot just stop. you are going to get burnt out. And that is, I had to deal with that because I stopped everything. I stopped eating carbs. I started eating, I knew I just, do the healthier ones. I cannot just, stop
So
everything.
you cut out just a little bit there. You said you stopped eating carbs.
Yes, when I first started and I wanted to lose weight, I stopped eating rice, I stopped eating pasta and all that. So I wanted to start eating, I even did a fruit diet. I did, I started eating oats. Choose oats as my carbs. I would eat oat pancake and oat cereal and oat porridge and oats because they told me it was healthier. But I started to get education on them. I started to know, okay, I cannot stop eating rice. So when I have rice now, I know rice is glucose at the end, which is going to affect my glycemic index, which is the sugar it builds up in my body. So instead of quitting rice, I pair it with vegetable and protein and fiber. Now my body can use it properly. So I'm not quitting them, I'm replacing them and supporting them with healthier alternative. Do you understand me? So it's really helped me. But I
Right. So like
get it.
pairing the rice with other foods that helps you to digest the rice. And actually let's just talk a little bit about that too in terms of rice as an example, because one of my big frustrations, as it were, is that people talk about things like it's just one thing, like rice, as if like all rice is the same. And so are there certain decisions people can make in terms of like types of rice? Like, I mean, at its most simple level, we have whole grain brown rice versus, processed white rice. And so, like, even to start there, to be like, okay, if you are going to have rice, then you can shift slightly and say, instead of getting the white rice, get the whole grain rice. Any other kind of like recommendations there in terms of like seeing that, like, there's, and I'm struggling to find the right word here, but it's like
I
rice
understand you.
is not just a monolith. It's not like there's just one rice. There are different varieties, different variations, right? Like there's higher quality, there's lower quality, and just a little bit of education for people there in terms of like you can still eat certain things, but there are higher quality, like better options to eat.
Okay. My Everybody deserves the ability to live a healthier life. It shouldn't be binded to the amount of money I have in my account or the budget I'm working on. Everybody deserves healthier living. So not everybody can afford brown rice. Not everybody can afford, all those healthier options of rice. Do you understand me? So
Mm.
what you can do is just stick with what you are. Many people where I live now, I can't access brown rice at all. I've never seen it before. I only see it online. So me knowing I can't access brown rice, I have to stick with the rice I have available around, which is the long grain rice, the long grain white rice, which I know is not totally healthy. But like you said, I cannot stop them because I have to survive on something. So if I want to cook rice, I make sure I had peas, and then eat it with a bunch of vegetable, cabbage, carrots, spinach, and then eggs, protein, and then fiber. Just complete your plate and make it balanced. But quitting something is restriction, and that's not healthy. You will have to go back. Your body will crave it. Options and find healthier options. Maybe you can afford brown rice and you can afford the healthier rice you have there. Stick with what you have and just find a way to tweak it into being more healthy for your body. Yeah.
Right. Right. But I like what you're saying too in terms of like work within the budget that you have, right? Like we all have our own limitations in our life in terms of what we can afford, and the thing with eating healthy. Now, I think eating healthy is one of those things where on one level, yes, it can get really expensive, like if you wanted to get really specialized, but it also doesn't have to be expensive, and depending on how you live your life could actually be
Expensive.
less
Mhm.
expensive compared to some other options, because I think one of the problem with a lot of, let's say,
Oh, can
industrialized.
you hear me?
Yeah, you're back. You're good. One of the problems with a lot of like industrialized foods, and I'm just gonna pick on chips here for a second, is that they're designed to snacky type foods, right? Like chips, chocolate, cookies, things like that, right? They're designed to like, okay, you eat them and they taste good, but now you like feel really hungry for more. And so like you keep eating them and keep eating them. And so your body doesn't get the signal to be satiated, to be like, I'm full, I can stop eating now. And so when you start eating
Yeah.
cleaner, healthier food, Like you get, okay, I'm gonna get some nice rice. I'm gonna have some nice vegetables, some peas in this. I'm gonna pair this with some eggs, a protein source, right? And it's a holistic, complete meal, right? And let's say you take your time to eat slowly. And this is something that I'm working on too. Of like, don't just sit there in front of the TV and just like shovel food in front of your face, which I'm still guilty of. So,
Okay.
not just about the types of food that you eat, but then also taking the time to be mindful when you eat. So instead of just sitting in front of the TV and like shoveling food in your face, which I will admit I'm still guilty of that sometimes. I'm working on this too. But taking the time to actually slowly eat, to enjoy your food, enjoy
Mindful.
all the flavors of your food, and that in eating slower, it gives your body time to recognize, okay, I'm full, I've been fed, I feel satiated, I don't need to eat more. I don't feel that need to like keep snacking and keep eating because I feel like people that do have issues with like overeating, for example, it is that there's just this feeling of like I'm hungry, I'm always hungry. It's like, yeah, you haven't given your body the right food that it recognizes it as food, and then you haven't given enough time to recognize that it's been fed food, and so it thinks it's still hungry.
2 years now, I've been eating just once a day. I've been practicing OMAD, which is
Okay.
1 meal. Yeah, and it's been totally life changing because as somebody that went from being a chronic foodie, I used to eat a lot, a whole lot, and I used to snack a lot. I started from eating just food. This is it. When I was diagnosed then, and I used to eat 3 times a day with a lot of snacking. I get this, I eat, I get that, I eat. I could not stop. I was obsessed with food, and I was having this. Anytime I tried to lose weight and I tried eating just veggies, I'm just going to start crying. It was so hard and challenging. So I started by just quitting all the snacking and just eating 3 meals a day. And then when I got used to that, well, after like a month, eating 2 times a day. And then when I got okay with that, so my body system got okay with that, I started eating just 1 meal a day. And then after like that took me like a year. That took me like a year. I won't lie to just get used to that. And then after that, last year was the year I literally tried everything. Last year, then I tried fasting. I tried fasting because I know the healing benefits of fasting. I've recommended it for my clients and it's been
Hmm.
transformative for them. But I decided to just give it a try. I did a 1 day fasting, like no meal throughout the day,
Hmm.
just water and water. And then I didn't take anything, and it was very challenging. It was so hard for me, but I did it. And then this year around March, I attempted to do a 2 days fast. I did it for 2 days, and I just kept training my body. I just kept training because my body, I feel the body listens. The body always listens. I'll tell anybody, stop training your body like it's in control, like the toddler, like a toddler that can do anything it wants to do. You are in control. You can actually do things that are hard. Anytime I tell anybody that I've attempted, longest attempt is not eating for 72 hours. I did it
Hmm.
around, I did around April, May. I did it for 3 days. I was only drinking water and it was very challenging. I'm not even going to lie. It was very hard, but I did it because I needed to prove to myself and every single person that was around me then that our body is capable. Our body is always capable. The same way it's capable of healing, it's capable of transformation, capable of every healthy lifestyle you want to imagine. Just do it. Just do it. Do not think you cannot. So yeah, I did it. And it's
Yeah.
been really, really transformational. And now I can literally, be mindful of what I eat. I still eat now. I love fruits. I eat fruits. Even after eating 1 meal a day. I mean, I eat 1 meal a day, like a big full meal, like with protein and fat and fiber and carbs. 1 meal. And then when I feel hungry during the day, I just snack on fruit. I'm so obsessed with that now. I went from snacking on nonsense to snacking on fruit. I will snack on pawpaw, snack on oranges, or snack on, fruits. It just now that's what I do. Or even sometimes I just okay, I'm craving. I don't restrict myself. Like I'm craving a cookie. Okay, I know stop what cookie of nonsense. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to make my at home and I'm going to have it. Or popcorn. Popcorn is my favorite. I'm just going to pop some corn and I'm going to have it with granuts or cashew nuts. I'll see they're, yeah, it's
Right.
limitless. so limitless, or tiger nuts, or cashew nuts, or with popcorn and just homemade fruit juice. I could make a smoothie. You could enjoy food. People are losing connection with food and getting obsessed with over processed, ultra processed nonsense that does nothing to their health aside feeding inflammation. But their
Yeah.
body is so used to it takes a lot. It takes a lot of courage and self-awareness to actually try to understand that these things are not helping you and try going on a healthier way, on a more healthier life. Yeah. So it really, really did help me challenging myself over and over again.
So what I'm curious about, because I also do intermittent fasting. I have done longer fasts in the past. And what I'm curious about is, can we talk a little bit about the science behind like what it is that's about fasting that's healthy for the body? Because my understanding is it gives the body a chance to like clean itself. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, absolutely. That's just the roundup of everything fasting does. Self cleansing. It cleans your body, gives your body, when you stop eating, your digestive system take a break. And then every single food you eat, you start using it as energy. And you enter what we call autophagy, where your body start using the energy, the fat, the old fat in your body, and you start using it as energy. That means you still have energy to function day to day, even though you stop eating. So fasting gives your body a break, and the minute your digestion system is not working over time and working, your body start healing. It start fighting inflammation. It start making your immune system stronger. It start clearing your skin. It start building immunity. It's endless. And the whole conclusion is it cleans your body and it gives your body back the power of healing. Yeah. Fasting is amazing. Yeah.
Autophagy, that was the word that I was looking for. Because again, my understanding is the way it works is like when we're always eating, right? We're eating regularly throughout the day, right? There's kind of this build up in the body of like it's not able to clean itself. And so by restricting your eating and fasting, your body basically says, and again, if we put this in terms of like our ancestral heritage, right? Like it's very, very uncommon and it's very only recent in modern history where it's normal for people to have an abundance of food that they can just eat all the time. That's not something that's in our history as humans that like our ancestors did not have a fridge that was just full of food that they could just eat all the time anytime they wanted. For people to go through periods of fasting where they'd go and they'd hunt and they'd find some meat and then there might be a couple days where they wouldn't eat and that was just kind of a normal part of living. But my understanding is it's basically a way for the body then to say, okay, I'm not receiving any new food sources. I'm not receiving any new energy coming in. Okay. So let me switch gears here and I'm going to start consuming the energy, the nutrients that I already have inside of myself. But what it does is it starts by identifying what are the dead cells or what are the sick cells or what are the areas in the body that are not like performing as good as they should be. Okay, let's find the weak parts and we're going to start by consuming those first. And so all of those cells that we have inside of us that are like sick, they're not performing well, they're dying, right? Which is just a
Mhm.
normal part of being a cell, right? So your body has a chance then to go through and clean all that stuff out and kind of keeps the system running at optimal levels. Is that again your understanding? How would you phrase it or word it?
Yeah. That's all fasting does. That's all fasting. Fasting gives your body a break. It gives your digestive system a break, and it allows every single cells in your body to regenerate. Your skin cells, every single cells in your body regenerate. They are reborn and rebirth. Every single time I go on a long fast, I feel different. I feel reborn. I feel empty. Like it feels like my whole body. I feel renewed every single time. Yeah. So it's really, and the greatest calm in history and how they got everybody to this obsession with food is the whole breakfast agenda, where they say you have to eat breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Who told you that you wake up in the morning and then the first thing you're doing is consuming? You wake up from a fast, you stop eating in the night and then you wake up to a fast. Your body is fasting from during those sleep time. That's why late night eating is worse. People that wake up around 12 a.m. and then eat again and 2 a.m. and eat again. Your digestive system needs a break. And while you are sleeping, your body is digesting again. And that's where inflammation starts. And that's where chronic illnesses start. That's where PCOS starts. That's where all those things started. Yes. So the first thing you should do is to make sure that you remove that scam of breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Our ancestors didn't have breakfast. They ate when they found food. But now every single person is having, and then they not only told us breakfast was the most important food of the day, they gave us cereal as an option for us and our children.
This is what you eat. You get cereal, you get oatmeal, you get bagels, you get bread, hash browns, fried potatoes.
You have cereal with processed milk, cereal with sugar, and then that is there to damage your morning. And then the child is slow in school, and then they start having ADHD, and then they start having autism, and then you're looking for what is wrong with them when their neurological system keeps shutting down. You're feeding them every single morning something that was not meant to even be in their body, and they're having it every single morning, cereal with milk, and then eat it, and they are going to class and they are dull in class, their brains are not sharp, and then you keep blaming yourself or you keep punishing the kids, especially here in Africa, and then the children are dull, and then you're like, okay, the child is stubborn, but you're feeding the child all those things that are affecting their neurological function, their brain, their health, and then they're sluggish, they are dull, they have ADHD, they don't listen, they are stubborn, and you are asking what is wrong.
What
I'm
what
not
what
here.
is wrong? Should we give them a pill? Should we medicate them?
They do that too. Then they start giving them a pill, or they take them to therapy. No, they don't need all that. They need you to clear their damn diet. They need you to do
Yeah.
better for them. That's all. That's all. We need to
So
work every time.
it's funny because, so again, for me, on a personal note here, part of the reason that I stopped eating breakfast was because I found that when I, like, in general, when I eat after a meal, I do find that I get like tired and sluggish because, again, my body is putting all this energy into digesting what I've just eaten. And so I stopped eating breakfast because I'm like, this is ruining my morning. I get up, I eat something, and I just want to take a nap. I just want to fall asleep, right? And so I stopped eating breakfast. And then when I do have a meal, now again, I'm not perfect at this, right? But I try to make sure that I don't eat too much, because whenever I have a really big meal, like, I'm done. It's over. Like, my brain is shutting down. Like, I want to take a nap. I want to go to sleep. Like, I can't move. I can't think. And so recognizing, like, I'm trying to find for myself kind of the optimal, like, I want to get myself into the optimal range where, like, I'm energized, I'm focused, I'm sharp, and trying to find what's the balance with eating food there. For somebody who's considering doing some fasting, right? I like what you said before of, okay, start small, right? Start by having, okay, 3 consistent meals a day without snacking. Okay. Then remove breakfast, get comfortable with that, 2 meals a day, and then, go to 1 meal a day. For somebody who's interested in fasting, do you have a recommended, like, length of time for fasting? And then is there anything, so, like, there's dry fast, there's a wet fast. So we're talking here about having like a wet fast where they're still consuming water, right?
Yeah.
I found for myself that I make sure that I also include salt, so I'll have some, like, salt water. Yes, because I found that if I didn't have salt water, I would get really bad headaches, right?
Yeah, it's like symptoms, a little side effect of fasting. Yeah, yeah. So,
Yeah.
but it leads after some time. Most times I don't have salt. So, but after some time I feel better. It's just like a symptom. Your brain is like your brain sending a signal like eat something. You're not eating. Like it's just a little side effect of fasting. So anybody that just wants to like get into fasting, the most recommended time is just overnight, which is like eating your last meal around 7 p.m. and then eating your first meal around 11 a.m., 10 a.m. Perfect. That's the best way for you to train your body. Do you get me? And then you know that you're just going to have 2 meals a day at least you know that, okay, instead of eating breakfast, I'm cutting out breakfast and I'm not having dinner late. Latest 5 p.m. have your dinner and then you are free for the rest of the day until tomorrow again. Do you get? So
Yeah.
starting with going to train your body, you are not overwhelming your body, because anybody that has not tried fasting before and go directly to 1 meal a day is just going to get burnt out and they're going to run away. They won't come back to it again because they are going to just, instead of fasting being beneficial for them, it's just going to bring them down. And I used to advise this: do not start fasting when your lifestyle is still so clogged out, so plugged in. Sorry, you eat junks a lot. Your diet is fucked up, and then your lifestyle, everything. You don't exercise, you don't do anything. You have the worst lifestyle, and then you are switching to fasting. No, start with the basic. Fasting is secondary. Start with the primary. Get enough sleep. Get more hydration, get exercise, get some steps in. You get start with the foundation, build your body, your body to be able to take the secondary. So switching into fasting when you've not fixed all that is like jumping into something that your body is not ready for, your body is not prepared for. So start by removing the toxic, removing the processed food little by little, removing the soda, the soft drink, getting enough sleep, getting enough rest, removing chronic stress. All those little things sum up a lot than getting into fasting when your body is still so weak.
Right.
Yeah.
I like what you said there too, in terms of, again, take this in baby steps, that if you try to do too much too quickly, it'll be overwhelming, but it's like one piece at a time. Clean up your diet a little bit, have a bit less sugar, be more intentional with when you eat your meals, how many meals you eat, reducing the snacking food, and it's kind of like bit by bit, your body gets stronger, more resilient, is able to say like, okay, this is who I am, this is how I live now. And speaking from personal experience here, again, with me, I do intermittent fasting. So like you said, I will have my dinner say 5 p.m., 6 p.m., right? And then I will go to sleep, and then I will eat lunch the next day around 11, 12, something like that. And so that is, if you count the time there, that's like 18 hours of fasting, which sounds like a lot, but for many of those hours I'm asleep, right? And so once upon a time that would have felt like impossible for me. Like don't eat breakfast, like impossible. And now I do it and I don't even think about it, right? It's just like this is a normal part of my life. And so just to be aware of that too, that be kind on yourself, be gentle on yourself, allow yourself time to kind of grow into this and adapt. And you'll be surprised kind of how resilient your body can be to the to adapting to the change.
Yeah, that's it. Honestly. So after you're done with that, after you're done with those steps, those simple baby steps, your sleep, your stress level, your eating, mindful eating, the way you take care of all those things. After you're done with that, then you can switch to removing the toxic, removing the products that are harming your body, removing the bleach, removing the perfume. Then you can start doing all that secondary, but your body needs to be very prepared. You must give it the mineral it needs. A lot of people are walking around with mineral deficiency and are going into fasting. You're gonna kill yourself. Your body is not ready. So go
No,
back to the primary. Go fix that. Go fix the primary. Get into your electrolytes. Get some sun. Yeah, go into the sun. Go away from the
like
house. Do mindful eating. Get enough sleep. Chronic stress kills more than we can imagine. Get into an healthy stress level, your cortisol level, get into all that, then you can now move to the secondary. It is very, very important. And that's why some
yeah,
people are when they go to the secondary, when they've not finished and tick off the primary, they are going to get burnt out. They are going to run back away. They will hate healthy living or even say it's expensive. It's not expensive. Instead of I'm not saying you should go get chicken because you want to get if you cannot afford fish, get tofu. Tofu is literally the cheapest source of plant protein that you can get. Get that. Sorry. Get
yeah.
that in. You understand me? Instead of worrying about getting chicken and getting turkey and nah, you don't need to overwhelm yourself. Healthy living is as expensive as you make it. Yeah.
Well, and what's funny too, like you talked about, switching to OMAD, so one meal a day, right? If you're only eating one meal a day, right? Okay, maybe some of the individual ingredients, maybe they're a little more expensive, but you're eating less overall food. So yeah, you absolutely have a chance this could actually be a money saving exercise if you well.
Not every
Let's
time, it's one time can I, yeah.
no, sorry, go ahead.
It's not every time you'll be able to afford chicken, especially students. Your students will be like, people when they are in school, in college, you'll be like, I want to finish college before I start living healthy. Do not wait. Your body can fail you anytime. And then when your body starts to fail you, you do not have problems anymore. You have a health problem. When you have your health in check, you have a lot of problems. But the minute your health fails you, you have just one problem. Just one. You want to get better. That's it. So do not wait to finish college. I'm telling this to any, youngster that wants to listen to this. Start by every single little thing you can change. Young people spend so much on soda and soft drink and noodles and ramen that they even spend on, little healthy things. Go into the morning sun, that morning sun. Instead of buying expensive electrolyte at the supermarket, just add salt to your water or coconut
Mhm.
water. Little change, or even orange juice, sorry. Little changes that make lots of impact. You do not
Yep.
need to be a whole big thing before you can take care of your health. So that's very
Yep.
important.
Just to switch gears a little bit here. So you first got into healing to, again, very personal, to heal yourself. And then it sounded like you started sharing your story with people and they started opening up in terms of some of the symptoms that they were having. And basically you were giving people like recommendations in terms of things they could do with their health, their diet, etc. For you being a healer, is that a hobby of yours, or is this now something that you've turned into a business, that you're practicing this, you have clients? What does that look like for you?
Yeah, it started from a passion, but it's now a full-time job. It's now part-time because I do other things. I have an NGO, I run an NGO, but yeah, it's now like
No,
a
and
part-time
and
job.
you run an NGO. Okay, but this is a business for you. You have clients now.
Yeah, yeah, I do have clients now. I get 10 people. I take in just 10 people every single month. I take in women that are battling PCOS, infertility, mothers that want to get on a healthy meal plan for their kids, how to raise healthy children, and then men that are going through low sperm count and fertility and reproductive issue. I take in just 10 clients every single month. I charge them, clients from all over the world, and then I charge them based on their currency, of course. And then every we have a 1 month plan, a 2 month plan, a 3 month plan of healing based on their predicament and what they are going through. And then we face healing. I change their diet for them. I put them on a healthy living and it works every single time. The minute you start supporting your body listens. It's no miracle because some think it's miracle. A woman reached out to me today and she was thanking me for like she started healthy living and now she has seen her period again. Her period is regular again. She was like, "Are you even
Okay.
human? Are you even human? This is a miracle." I said, "I'm human." And it's no miracle. It's just you coming back to your body and listening to it and supporting it with healthy things that you're supposed to be doing on the norms. So it's no miracle. It's just it's just normal. But it's not
Right.
normal for those that
This is your body just doing its normal body things when you get out of your own way. What was that like, that transition of starting a business? Like, did it come very natural? Like, was it a very organic progression in terms of like you were having conversations and people started seeking you out? Was it challenging to start a business? Let's just talk about the business side of things.
it was very challenging, honestly, because people expected, people felt entitled. I felt like since 2020, the whole of 2023, I was just, "Hi, Khadijah, I have this. What should I use?" I tell them, "Hi, Khadijah, I have this. Hi, my hands has this." They even recommend families to me. Just message her. She's going to give you what to use. And then they keep, I felt burnt out, but I didn't care because I was not after the money. I just felt happy that people were healing and people were getting the healing. And then I just kept
And
doing it.
just quickly on that though, how were people finding you? Was it like referral through word of mouth of people that you worked with? Were you posting on social media? Like, how did people find you?
Yeah, it was referral on my WhatsApp. I used to post on my WhatsApp status every single blessed day. And then immediately I healed somebody and somebody gave me a good feedback, I would post it there that this worked. And then I posted it. I had just Facebook and my WhatsApp status all through. I would just post there, give remedies, and people will tell me in the comments it worked and it worked. So they kept coming into my DM and then I kept doing it for free because that was what I wanted to do. I didn't think
Right, 'cause you
money.
wanted to help people.
Yeah. And then 2024 came and then it continued early 2024. I was still like doing it, and then everybody will come, my hands this, my hands that, this, and I was just doing it. How that I just had to, but I felt happy because I was gathering community. I was gathering people that trusted my work. I was gathering people that trust their body. And then the minute I started, then I did a class. I did a no sugar challenge, which was last year, 2024, around July, where I gathered 500 women. I told everybody to post it on their social media. We gathered 500 women in a group, and then I guided them on a no sugar challenge for 1 month. They quitted to like journey to quitting soda for a whole 1 month, and it was very challenging. But after that, it like gets me to the face of more people, and then everybody came back after that 30 days. It did this to me. It changed me. I lost weight. My period became clearer. This a lot of positive feedback, and then that really like put me out there and made everybody more interested in, okay, wow, it worked. It really did work. My skin got clearer. A lot of beautiful review, and then I thought, okay, let me start. I just started from, I will sell this plan to you. You just pay me a little amount for my effort. And then I started to just upgrade from there and be like, okay, I need to monetize this, because a lot of people they decided to take me for granted. They would just, I will start.
Yeah, there's an important one. Yeah, when you're giving this away for free, because again, you're passionate, you want to help people, right? But that's an interesting turning point where you're like, now I feel like I'm being taken advantage of. I feel like I'm being taken for granted. Possibly some people too, like maybe don't take it seriously because they're not paying for it. Were you finding that as well?
They will just like, I will be helping them. It's a plan. I'll send it to you at the beginning of the plan, and then you have to give me a follow-up every single day. Okay, I wake up, I did this, I had a vinegar shot, I went in the sun, I did my workout, I did this, and then you are not going to even message me. You are not going to do anything. I'll be messaging you and asking you, have you done your plan? And then you're going to leave me on read for days, and you're just going to respond. And
Yeah,
as
they're
an
not taking it seriously.
it was a lot. I felt like I was doing you a favor, and then you're taking me for granted. And I
Yep.
know it works. People only take things they pay for seriously. It's just women,
Yep.
human psychology. Human do not take things they do not pay for. They just take it for granted. And it worked. It worked. The minute I started charging, but it was hard at first because everybody ran away. The first time I started charging, nobody cared anymore. It felt like I was
Right.
abandoned. Why are you charging us? I'm going to get back to you. I heard that almost 50 times. I'm going to get back to you. The minute I put a price tag into what I do, into my work, everybody away. So it felt very challenging. I was sad. I wanted to like go back to just being a giver, even though I was getting burnt out. I had to like be in touch with I think 30 people at a go, and then they are not taking me seriously. I mean, they are DM begging them to heal. It was hard. So I knew I just had to stick with the challenging part. I had no clients for up to 6 months. Nobody cared anymore. Like it just felt like I went silent.
And
Clients came.
and then what happened?
My first clients came, she had PCOS, and then I told her, somebody recommended that benefited from my free Khadijah version. So when she came, and then I told her this was our amount, I'm going to help her for like, I'm going to be with her for 2 months. That's our plan. And I gave her a price to it. She was like, I'll get back to you. And I just smiled. I said, oh my God, I was used to that word at this point. So I just laughed it
I've
off.
heard that before.
And then lo and behold, she came back, and then she paid immediately, and we started. I was so happy. That was my first paid version of healing people. And it worked.
Hmm.
She got it. And just like that, a autism mother came, wanted to heal her child from autism. And then I worked with her, and just like that, changes started happening. And now, yeah, it's a full time, it's a business. It's what I do. Turning my passion into income, turning it and still enjoying the process, because it's beautiful to be able to heal people. So yeah, that's it.
Right. Okay. I do want to really appreciate you sharing that. I do want to break it down a little bit here in terms of, because I think there's a lot of people out there, right, that they're interested, you know, they they want to start their first business, for example, and they're trying, or maybe they have started their first business, but they're struggling to get clients. And you said something there which I think was really important. I just want to dive into it a little bit more as a lesson that people can take away, is that in the beginning when you started, I mean, the first thing is that you just want to help people. You're like, I've learned this thing, I've been through this transformation myself. I know it works. I've experienced it for myself. Like you had that energy inside of you, and you're like, I want to share this with people. And so first of all, you went out and you just started sharing with whoever would listen. And then what you did, and this is the important part I want to highlight, is that when people would go through your program, and they would get better and they would get results, they would send you messages, be like, these things change for me, these symptoms change, like I'm feeling better, XYZ. And then you would take that and use it as a testimonial. So then you could start showing as proof, right? Like posting to your WhatsApp status, you were saying. It could also be like social media content, right? But you're now posting up testimonials of what people are saying. Now it's not just you being like, hey, I've got this skill and this talent, and you should trust me and you should pay me money. It's other people saying, hey, I took Khadijah's program. These are the results that I got. And so what you
Yeah.
did in putting out those testimonials is you then started building a reputation that what you do is helping people. You started building credibility, but you also started building demand and word of mouth referrals, right? Because people are talking about you, they're sharing their story. And so what you did then is you started building demand for your services. People started coming to you and seeking you out. Now it also became too much and right offering your services for free. So then it started to feel like you're getting taken advantage of. But what I'm trying to highlight here is that you being able to transition from offering your services for free to moving to paid, the reason that you were able to do that is because you had built up demand. People were coming to you, they were seeking your help, they were seeking your advice. And again, economics, right? Supply and demand, right? It's all well and good for somebody to sit there and say, I'm going to start a business and I'm going to charge however many thousands of dollars. Cool. You can charge as much money as you want for your business. But if nobody's showing up to like hire your services, does it mean anything? And so what you did there so intuitively, I want to say, is you built this demand for your business. People wanted to seek you out. They wanted your services so that when you started charging a percentage of people. Now, okay, many people were like, no, she's charging money. Okay, I'm not going to do this. But a percentage of people saw the value and were like, okay, let's go. And it starts with one, and then it's a little trickle, and it grows from there, and it grows from there. So
Yeah.
what are you, what are you doing now to grow your business?
I am trying to build a more stronger community. I feel like community is everything. But I lost my Facebook account. I lost it 2 months ago. I've been building this account for 5 years. While my dad was sick, I used to document his journey into the hospital then. So when I
When
lost
when you say you lost it, do you mean like Facebook shut it down or?
yes, okay, this is interesting, right? I got an email that 19 doctors reported my accounts for being against mainstream medicine, and then my account was taken down, like deleted from the surface of the earth. I never saw the email. I'm like, why? Because all my content used to be like, you can heal yourself. You don't need medicine. You don't need medication. You don't need this. You can do this. You can do that. So yeah, my account got reported and it was removed. So when I saw the email and then I could not save it, I could not write a petition or anything, nothing. Just in 5 minutes, your account was reported, and in 5 seconds, poof, gone. So
Yeah.
yeah,
So first of all, I'm sorry that that happened. Like you said, you spent years building up your profile, your account, sharing your story. And I mean, I do have a background in digital marketing, and so I've worked with clients in Facebook ad accounts and pages. And yeah, it's one of those things where it's a reality of, and sometimes it's completely random, right? But like whether it's Facebook or YouTube or whatever the platform is, will either reject like an individual ad or they'll just shut down your whole ad account. Why? I don't know. Sometimes you can appeal it, sometimes you can't. Now, for me, what I'm trying to share here is there's almost this like I'm trying to find the right word to describe it, but it's almost like you need to have two. I was gonna say two personalities. That's not what I'm trying to say, but it's like
mm-hmm.
a two-step approach to your business and how you share your message. And what I mean by that is if you're posting on, again, whether it's Facebook or it's TikTok or it's YouTube, you need to work within the guidelines of the platform, no matter how much you might disagree with it or think it's ridiculous or why are they censoring me? Okay, at the end of the day, these platforms are the gateway to connect with people, right? So you can love it, you can hate it, but my message is, okay, figure out how to work within the guidelines of the platform, and to not share anything like that's too controversial. That still gets your core message across so that people understand what you're about, but are not pushing the boundaries of being too controversial. Then once you have we're going to use a marketing term here, a lead, right? Once you have somebody who's expressed that they're interested in you, they want to work with you, maybe you have their email, maybe you have their WhatsApp number, right? You can then have a separate profile, right? Whether it's a website, because if you have a website, like, okay, you own and control that website, you can put whatever you want on your website, right? If you're sending somebody an email, like I've never heard of somebody getting banned off of Gmail because, they were spreading medical information that 19 doctors didn't agree with, right? But it's like if you have somebody's email, if you have somebody's WhatsApp, right, you can then have a more in-depth, real conversation about, the nuances of what you want to talk about, and not worry about like the Facebook platform shutting you down. Do you have any thoughts on that too, in terms of like how you can have a social, like a clean social media presence, but then have a website message, something to like go deeper on what you want to share?
That's the part I'm taking right now. I learned it the bitter way. Yeah, it was so sad. But yeah, I learned it the bitter way. I opened another account, I think about 3 weeks later, because I had to just take the break. I needed to reboot myself. So I opened another account, I started with it, and then it's been doing well. I've been trying to be more, more understanding the community guideline and starting to work with the community guideline, not what I believe is true. So yeah, and then I have a website where I post a more controversial stuff, and then I also have like a community on WhatsApp, on Telegram, and then my LinkedIn. So it's been wonderful ever since. But I needed to learn that lesson, and I learned the lesson. Yeah. So building a community helped me so much that the minute I opened another Facebook account, my community came back to me. Yeah.
That's important. That's important too. That
Wow.
because you're doing something that genuinely helps people, and people like you, they respect you. As soon as you're like, hey, we got a new Facebook group over here, people are like, okay, let's go hang out with Khadijah over there.
Yes, it was easy for me, and I felt like losing that account was very good for my growth. It like rebooted me and made me, think from a more better perspective of growth instead of thinking like I cannot lose this and that. It like really humbled me while still making me grow to the point that I know that okay, this is what I'm supposed to do. This is the better way to do things. So yeah, my community came rushing back, even though it's not like it used to be, but now it's even more alive, viable, and more impactful for people. Yeah. So it's been wonderful. So
Okay.
the business side of being an holistic healer is just like the fact that it's hard most of the times to convince people that they can heal. People are so used to the whole mainstream medicine that they know that they have to be on medication. When I tell people you do not have to, I don't sell you herbs. Are you going to give me herbs? No. Are you going to give me medication? No. So how are you going to heal me? By connecting with your body, doing anything. So like they get confused, and it takes a lot of time to convince them that they can heal. Yeah, that's
Right.
another downside. To me. I have to like tell you and explain the science behind it and explain why it's possible for your body to heal, and then take them back to go check my feedback, to go check my reviews and why it's possible. But I promise you, 50 is a 50-50% game. 50% of chances are that they are not still going to accept it because they have been used to the whole of mainstream media, medicine, all that. So I'm just going to try to accept that and hope they come back when they want to change their mind. So yeah, that's the downside. Not every lead turns to clients. Yeah. So
Yes,
that
part of if we're talking about marketing terms here again, the marketing funnel, right? People will come into your world. A percentage of people will like you and want to move forward and work with you. A percentage of people won't resonate, and that's just part of the game here. I know. So we've been going for a long time here. This has been a great conversation. Before we wrap up, though, I just want to check in again on the like business side of things. Okay, it sounds to me like things are moving well. People are coming into your world, like they want to work with you. What would you say, like, if you had to pick one challenge that you're facing right now to like grow your business or manage your business, what's like the one thing that's causing you the most frustration, challenge, keeps you up at night, part of the business?
It's going to be convincing people that healing is possible. And also, it's going to be telling people that their health is worth the sacrifice. Yeah, because most of the time, a lot of people will come to me and I will help them. Like I have a consultation plan where I'm going to brief you about your illness. If you're like, okay, you come in with infertility, I'm going to ask you some questions, like a 30-minute call where I'm going to get into your routine, get into your life, and try to understand your root cause. And after that, you have to pay for my restoration plan. At that point, they step back, and I have it's been challenging trying to understand that not everybody is going to become my client. They
Right.
some just have as leads, and it's very very hard because most of the time I always pour my time into the 30 minutes call and give them my all and explain and make them understand without giving them the whole healing plan. Do you understand? I'm not giving you any healing plan. I'm just making you understand. Okay, you have ulcer. Okay, this is why you've been having ulcer, and this is what it means coming into my holistic restoration plan and getting back your body, getting back your health, healing your gut health. And so at that point, people will just be like, can't you just give me, it's not just to give me something. Why are you charging for it? I'm like, you don't go to the doctor office and tell the doctor, why are you charging me to see you for consultation? I do my consultation for free. So do not undermine me. A client once told me that am I not just, I wanted to charge her. So she was not like, I should take, she breaks down my money and then she's like, I should take 20% for the beginning, and when she sees our changes, she's going to give me the remaining 80% of the money. And I'm like, what do you call me? What do you call me as? What do you think I am? And she's like, am I, if when fashion designer wants to make clothes for her, they are going to take 20%. And not your fashion designer. Do not dare compare me. Do not dare compare me as a fashion designer. I am giving you back your health. So if you think that is what I deserve, please you can walk away. I'm not going to do something that is going to strain me. So yeah, that is very, very challenging. I face a lot of negativity and people are just like, ridicule you, make you feel less of yourself, manipulate you into doing it for free because they think like it's nothing serious. It's not just are you doctors? Some are going to ask me, are you doctors? So the only doctor that can charge you. You just give me something to use. Why are you charging for it? So it's always very challenging and it's always
Right.
very annoying, frustrating as oh my god, it's
I
frustrating.
I like though that you've built up that resiliency to it, right? And this probably came from doing the repetitions, right? Of like you've been through this enough time, you've poured your heart and soul into it enough that like you can tell now, okay, if they're not going to take this seriously, then I'm not going to waste my time. But then also being able to like push back and to be able to tell when somebody's trying to like manipulate you or take advantage of you, and you've learned the ability to say, you know what, this isn't going to work. If you don't see the value that I bring, it was nice to
Walking.
meet you. There's the door. You can see your way out.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's always very hard because sometimes I'm like, maybe the first thing I did was remove desperation from, if we're talking about business, any business at that, remove desperation because some clients are there to frustrate you and then manipulate you into doing something that does not align with your value, that does not align with what you believe in or aligns with you. So remove desperation. I'm not desperate anymore. So if I'm not going to get clients in 3 months, just for me to get a client that respects me, that do not think they are giving me money and they are doing me a favor, because I always try to work on that. So you are not paying me. You're not pouring money on me and like I'm not doing you a favor. I'm giving back your health. And if you're not gonna take it serious, please do not give me your money. Please walk out.
Yeah.
I have a guide. I have a rules. If you are not going to follow and abide to it, you're not. If you are not going to treat me with respect, with accord, please take your money and go out of the door. So that desperation, I do not have it. I don't care about the amount you are going to pay me. If my respect is going to be tampered with, and you're not going to take my work seriously, and you're going to take it for granted, ma,
And I like
I'm
what you
not
said
gonna.
there about not being desperate, because again, I think a challenge a lot of new business owners get into is like they might get their first prospect in the door and they're like, okay, here's my one, it's my only shot, so I'll do anything I can to make them happy. But what I like that you did is, again, because you built up so much demand for you and your services, you now have options. You get to pick and choose which clients you want to work with based on the ones that take you seriously, respect you, show up, that have the money. But it's like you have the power to do that because you've built up the demand for your services. And again, it really speaks to the power of having a good marketing engine in your business to bring people to you so that you get to make the choice too. Because I think people forget that too. It's it's a two-way street to decide to work together. And you, as the business owner, have just as much of a right to decide whether you want to work with that client or not. If it's not a good relationship, you get to walk away.
Yeah. Don't allow desperation get you into the point you lose your self-respect. Because people, why many of us are doing online jobs and remote work. My job now is in remote work. I do not see my client, right? The reason why we are going to remote is because we do not want a boss that insults us or the old thing that comes with 9 to 5. So why are you going to be into a remote work, doing things online and paying, giving service to your client and still being treated like you are some random 9 to 5 worker? You wanted freedom and now it's being tampered with. No, hold on to it. Do not allow anybody get into your head. Your client is going to come. It's going to take time, and you must be ready to face that time. You must be ready. You can't rush it. You can't rush. It's a process that is going to happen, whether you like it or not. So you cannot rush it. Just calm down. Focus on building yourself up, building a community, building a brand that people can trust. And then the minute you call a price, they are going to pay for it. But do not rush yourself. It's just a simple, calm process that you have to really, really work through. It's one
Khadijah,
important.
Khadijah, I love your energy here. I love your enthusiasm for this and how you've been through it. You've been through the journey yourself, and now you've raised yourself up a level, and you have that strength, that resiliency of knowing yourself, of knowing your value. So it's genuinely been a pleasure getting to know you here. If people want to work with you, if people want to find out more about you, where can they find you?
That's that. I can just send it to your DM. Khadijah Adunife, which is a Yoruba word. I'm from Africa. You might not be able to pronounce it. Yeah, I'm on LinkedIn, the same name on Facebook, the same name on Instagram, the same name on TikTok, the same name on YouTube. Yeah. So yeah, Khadijah Adunife Adunife. Yeah, sweetness of love. My
Perfect.
dad
And I will share your links in the show notes below so people can find you here. Wrap up here. Any last thoughts that you'd like to share with people who are, getting on their health journey here?
do not give up on your health. It's ready to heal if you are ready to do the work. And it won't be easy. Don't let anybody deceive you. It's going to be easy. But you must have a strong enough why. You must be ready to see yourself wake up every morning without bloating, without fatigue. Be ready to see improvement in your health. And you do not know how better your health can get until you start living a healthy life. That's something that was incredibly surprising for me. How bad my health was until I started to live a healthy life and started to wake up with no pain. I started to, oh my God, it's incredible. Right now, I've stopped conventional skincare products for almost 2 years now. I've not used any. I use tallow, which is like I render beef fat and then mix it with shea butter
Oh,
and some
beef
people
beef
essence for
tallow.
hair.
Yep, yeah, I use that too.
That's what I use right now. I've not used skincare. And then anytime anybody sees me and then my skin, they'll be like, okay, what skincare do you use? I don't use skincare products. You cannot buy them at the market. You have to be ready to make the sacrifice for your health. So it's not going to be easy. I learned how to bake bread because I was tired of the conventional bread. I learned how to make peanut butter because I was tired of the 100 ingredients in them. I learned how to make a lot of things. I just had to learn. I just had to do it because my health is what to sacrifice every single time. So
I,
that's
I
kept
l-
in mind.
I like what you said, that this is not easy, but it's worth the sacrifice. And I think that's the problem with a lot of conventional medicine, is that it's portrayed as being very easy. Here's a pill. Here's a pill, take this pill and everything goes away. And I think there's something in life in general, I think this is a life lesson, is that things that are worth doing right. They're worth putting the effort in, and that's actually where you see the greatest benefits, greatest rewards. So, Khadijah, I want to thank you very much for coming on the show today, for sharing your thoughts, for sharing your wisdom. I think we've been going for almost 2 hours here. This has been a long conversation, but I've genuinely been enjoying to hear your story here. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming on and sharing your story and for being very real and authentic.
Thank you so much. Bye.